Today we're going to take a look at how to create a manual stock counting session. Inside of X3, any managed products can be put into a manual stock counting session. So you can control when you count, what you count, and how the process is defined. So within the stock module, under the counts block, there's two functions we're going to be concerned with: the counts function and the stock count sessions. The first step is to create a stock count session. Here I'm going to select new. Stock count sessions are done uniquely on a site. Most of these defaults will stay the same. Stock count type by product, manual selection, by product location, global processing, and products without stock. What this allows is it'll put products that the system thinks doesn't have any stock and allow you to change that value if indeed you do have stock. Now this is an interesting area here to where we can make some changes in how the count worksheets are generated. So the stock count session will generate a worksheet or multiple worksheets. So this can be divvied up and given to different people in different areas, depending on if you're doing it by product location and what your selection criteria is, which you'll see in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, excuse me, I didn't put a title in here. I'm going to choose 8 products, and I want 2 worksheets created, and I want the ability to manually add a product to the worksheet. So I'm going to have maximum lines of 5, and my percent limit of 80% will give me actually 4 items per sheet and leave me 1 item if I want to manually add a line. Maximum number of items, this would be for the total number of sheets, and I want to create multiple lists. We're going to include all products in these classifications, but this is irrelevant because we're not doing cycles counting. So here it comes down to selecting the products. I'm going to select 8 products, AC 101 through AC 108. And I'm going to create. Now if I take a look at my lists, I don't have any lists yet until I generate them. First of all, I'm going to simulate what's going to happen so I can see. It's going to generate 2 lists, 8 products, 7 stock lines. That's fine. Let's generate it. As soon as I generate the list, the products on the list are now frozen. Okay? So you see this locked status? That means anything on these count sheets now are locked in. So I have 2 count sheets, 4 items each. So now, this is where I go back to that other function within the stock module. Stock. Counts. So here, on my left list, I have the stock count sessions, and then the lists within the session. I'm going to select the first list. You can see my 4 items, and there's 5 lines. I have 1 line I could fill in with another item if I wanted to. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is you have to actually go into these fields for them to be authenticated. So I'm going to here say 301, change all these by 1. Those are my actual values. You can see I can add this line here. I don't want to. I'm going to hit the escape key. I'm going to save this. I'm now going to release these. The next step after releasing it is to validate it. You can see the items I counted are validated. I'm not sure why this won't allow me to take it to 0. So let's take it to something else. Let's take it to 2. Save. Validate. Now all 4 items are validated. Now I'm going to close. This will post it to the journal. Not exactly, but we'll show that. You got to run the stock accounting interface. So same thing with these items. These items I'm going to make no changes. Save that. Release. Validate. Close. So it'll abandon this one, which was 0, and I didn't change it, just because there's no value at all there, and the rest are validated. Now I go run my stock accounting interface. Journal number 2738. Let's take a look at it. Look at, we'll have accounting data today. You can see I posted 3 of these. This is the one we just did. You see the lines, we've got a variance of $7.52. See some of these other postings, and you got variances on multiple lines. Here you have multiple lines because one of the items went the other direction. Otherwise, you will just have one line to debit stock and credit whatever account is set up in your accounting code here. Inventory adjustment.